You thought that this was a car launch, really? That Adrian Newey and Christian Horner were going to show you their car for next year, the RB20. Really? Is that what you thought? You fool, said Adrian Newey and Christian Horner yesterday. Because yesterday at that Red Bull Racing car launch, we saw nothing of the sort for the avoidance of that. That, ladies and gents, that RB20 that was revealed is not the car that we'll see in 14 days' time at Bahrain. Let me just get that out there. Let me tell you how we know. The render and the car at the reveal, they were different. Check out the nose. One adjoined to the front wing, one didn't. And you can even see the little funny dummy piece that they had in there. Okay, so they had the downwash side pods, they did. And that was a carryover, an evolution from last year's prototype. Cool. But what about those gun barrels at the back of the car? Are you going to tell me that they stole those from Mercedes, a car that was a flawed design ostensibly? I don't know what to believe from these guys. Now, Red Bull, it wouldn't be the first time that Red Bull or another team have sold us a dummy. You remember Mercedes 2 years ago. The first car that they showed us had side pods. They went out and tested it first time round at Barcelona. They did. And then the next time round, all of a sudden they bring out a car that had no side pods. So it's absolutely within the remit of these F1 teams to leverage a bit of skullduggery, a bit of technical sleight of hand. But that doesn't mean to say I wasn't disappointed. Gossip monger Cameron, I want to know, because the ramifications of this RB20 design philosophy is wide reaching. Are they going to continue the dominance that we've seen over the past 24 months for an additional 12 months? I need to know. One thing I will say for certain though is that that car looked fast, for whatever that's worth. Maybe it's the livery that I associate with the dominance of the past 24 months. Maybe it's deep ingrained within my psyche to recognise a Red Bull car and associate that with speed. But all the hallmarks are there, right? The downwash, the aerodynamic efficient, that those things aren't going anywhere. You would expect Adrian Newey to expand upon that and develop that concept going forward. Notwithstanding, by the way, the fact that he's saying to anyone that will listen to him, mention no names Eddie Jordan on the Formula for Success podcast, that they potentially already reached the zenith, the peak of that design philosophy within the context of these 2023-24 regulations. Now, I think that's interesting. Why would Adrian Newey say that? Is he tempering expectations? Is he managing our expectations in addition to those of the bots that are working for him at Red Bull Racing? I don't know. All bloody speculation again. And I'm allergic to it, man. I want to know. The first race and the first test even can't come quick enough. I want to see a Red Bull 2.0. I desperately want to see what that car looks like. Are we going to talk about the bloody side pods and the fact that it looks like they've taken a leaf from Mercedes' book after Mercedes have declared that design philosophy a failed one? Oh, the irony. It's not lost on us, is it? Absolutely bonkers this 2024 season is. Are they S-ducts? Are the inlets sideways? Are they vertical? Who bloody knows? Because Red Bull yesterday didn't show us. They did a prestige thing, didn't they? A David Copperfield one. And fair play to them. I don't hate it. I mean, why would they incentivize another team to copy their design philosophy so close to the first race of the year? And there are other plot lines in this launch. We got to see Christian Horner for the first time since aforementioned allegations, and it was techie, wasn't it? I watched it back a couple of times, and at first run through, I thought Christian was handling it very well, as you'd expect from the Red Bull team principal. Adversity, these are the waters that he swims in. He manages this, and you would expect him to manage it. You would expect exam answers from him only. I deny the allegations. That I can't talk to it as of this moment because it's an investigation ongoing. Those are the sound bites that we got from Christian Horner yesterday. But when you watch it back, he strikes a forlorn figure. His face was paler than usual. Of course, the toll of these investigations, as you would expect, it appears, are getting to the Red Bull team principal. He'll be wanting for these investigations to wrap up imminently. And the tone of key stakeholders, Bernie Ecclestone and Helmut Marko, when they're talking about the investigation and the status of it, has changed ever so slightly. You'll remember a couple of weeks back when we first heard about these investigations, these allegations, that Bernie apparently had advised Christian Horner to step down, to spare Red Bull Racing the furore, the whirlwind that comes with the PR around these allegations. Similarly with Helmut. Helmut wasn't talking about it. Now he's come out and it feels like he's walking back some of the things that he'd said previously. Remember, the soundbite that he gave previously was that Christian Horner has done a fantastic job. The insinuation being he might not be around for too much longer. Imagine that. Helmut's never been one that's been shy at giving a cheeky, controversial soundbite ever in his life. Bernie Ecclestone, another 180. No longer is he advising Christian to step down. He's saying that it's all a fabrication, allegedly. Now, caveat that with this, that Bernie Ecclestone's always been a character, a pioneer of a racing man, but has always been a bit loosey-goosey with the truth. How do you know it's been fabricated? How do you know, Bernie? But again, it feels like they're all coming out for their guy now. They're rounding the support wagons around Christian Horner. I suspect, if I'm a betting man, give this another 4 weeks and this will all go away. Christian Horner means too much to Red Bull Racing operationally. Could you make an argument that without Christian Horner, that Max Verstappen is less likely to win the championship in 2024? Absolutely. Absolutely. How could you not? Christian Horner has been there from day one. 2005. That operation is unrecognisable without him at the helm. I'll tell you what though, they say that you can tell a lot about where a car is at the first shakedown by the expression on the drivers. You saw that Lando Norris gave an interview to Sky Sports and he appeared mildly pleased with himself. I wouldn't bet against McLaren being the principal contenders for that Red Bull throne. But you see, yesterday, the bulls that are red will see McLaren and raise them this. Max Verstappen had a humongous smile on his face after the shakedown at Silverstone. And that, sadly for the 9 other teams, can only mean one thing.